Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Robbie One Kenobi, and I'm here to bring you my WWE TLC 2015 predictions. The show, of course, is this Sunday night live on the WWE Network. And my overall thoughts going into the show, guys, is this show is what it is in terms of the build. There are some matches that I believe can deliver. There are some that I believe will deliver. And then there are a couple matches, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, that I just really don't care for because of how they were just thrown together last minute, so to speak, or how they've been built in the case of one match. Let's just get right down to my predictions, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more. First up, we have a match that was literally just announced on, I think, SmackDown. I'm not sure because I don't watch SmackDown anymore. But it is Rusev versus Ryback. And honestly, if this match had happened in the beginning of the year at like Royal Rumble when Rusev was United States champion and was still undefeated and Ryback was regaining momentum, I'd have been more intrigued with this match. I would have been more interested in it, more invested, so to speak. Now, having it happen at TLC, I just am not invested in it because it comes about, well, part of it has to do with the booking of Rusev, the fact that he's back with Lana, and the way that he's been booked since, realigning himself, since, getting back together with Lana, since their real life engagement was made public by TMZ. I'm just not feeling it. I mean, Ryback and Rusev had a match on Raw, and this all stems from Ryback coming out and interrupting that Miz TV segment where Rusev was declaring his love for Lana, and they were about to kiss and whatnot in the middle of the ring. And then they had a match, and Ryback, I think, pushed Rusev into the steel steps, and the steps knocked Lana down. So Rusev went to Lana's aid. Rusev got counted out. Then they had a rematch on Raw where Ryback was chasing Rusev around the ring, and Lana made it to where Rusev ran into her and like really hurt her leg, and then Rusev took advantage. So it's like that kind of booking is just lame. Because with Lana back at Rusev's side, I want to see Rusev unleash that monster that he was back in, 2014 and early 2015. So yeah, I mean, Rusev is probably going to win this, and in my opinion, he should, because I'm just losing interest in Ryback, which is unfortunate because I wanted to see the guy do well after he won the Intercontinental Championship, and we all know how that ended up. So yeah, I'm going with Rusev. There's not really much else to say about this match. I just hope that Rusev and Lana get better booking together, especially Rusev, because I think he deserves a big push in 2016 to regain the momentum he's lost since losing to Cena. Next up, we have a chairs match for the United States Championship. Alberto Del Rio defending against Jack Swagger. I really don't care about this match, to be honest. I know how it was built with, Jack Swagger, questioning Zeb Coulter's motives in aligning with Del Rio when Coulter a couple years back, proclaimed himself a real American, proclaimed Swagger a real American, and they were going at it with Del Rio leading into WrestleMania 29. It's like these two guys who were a part of one of the four main events of WrestleMania 29, almost 3 years later, they're in a mid-card feud that, people just really don't care about. And this is nothing against the performers themselves, Del Rio and Swagger. It's just, why care about this match? When Del Rio won the United States Championship, I was excited. I was looking forward to seeing him in feuds against the likes of, Dean Ambrose, Neville, Kalisto. I wanted to see him in fresh feuds against young, fresh talent. But he's going up against an old rival in Swagger, and I just really don't care for this feud. Do I expect this match to be good? Maybe, because it's a chairs match. I don't ever recall a chairs match that was really that good, especially last year's match with Ryback and Kane. That was just horrible. I hated it. So yeah, I'm picking Del Rio to win. I don't see Swagger beating him. I just hope that Del Rio gets better booking. He's not with Zeb Coulter anymore, which is good. I want to see Del Rio on his own. I mean, I do admit that when Coulter introduced Del Rio as his new protege, I thought, hey, that's cool. Let's see where this goes. Maybe they can do something big with it. Well, it hasn't really been the case. So I'm happy Del Rio's on his own, and I pick him to beat Swagger. I just do not see Swagger winning the United States Championship. So Alberto Del Rio is my pick to win the chairs match. Next, we have an 8-man elimination tables match. Team ECW, the Dudley Boyz, Rhyno and Tommy Dreamer versus the Wyatt family. I'm looking forward to this match. I think this is going to be a good, fun match. But I think the Wyatt family really needs this win. I don't think the Dudleys need a win on pay-per-view. Yes, they have a DQ win over the New Day at Night of Champions, a DQ win over the New Day at the WWE MSG live event. But I love the Dudley Boyz, but I just don't see them. I don't think they and Rhyno and Dreamer need this win. I think the Wyatt family needs this win more. And somebody on Twitter mentioned this, that the Wyatt family, they've gotten wins, but unfortunately they're meaningless wins in certain feuds, and they don't get the big wins they need in high-profile feuds like against Brothers of Destruction, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. So, yeah, I think the Wyatt family needs this win a lot because it can help reestablish them as a monster faction. I remember saying in my Undertaker retrospective when I was predicting Survivor Series, just that match that had the Wyatts beating Taker and Kane on Taker's 25th anniversary, that would have gotten them major heel heat, and that would have established them as a major monster faction. So I see the Wyatt family winning this. I believe they need to win this because I don't think a loss is going to hurt the Dudley Boyz. You know, they're only here for a short period of time. If the Dudley Boyz do win, I'm not going to say I'll be surprised, but I will prefer that the Wyatt family gets this win because, like I said, I think they could be quite a strong monster faction. Here's a good way to reestablish them after losing to Taker and Kane. And I just don't really see the Dudley Boyz. I mean, I could see the Dudley Boyz winning the tag team championships at WrestleMania, having a WrestleMania moment, and then maybe dropping them the next month at Extreme Rules. But I just don't see them really needing this win more than the Wyatt family needs it at this point. So I'm going with the Wyatt family. Like I said, they need this win more than the Dudley Boyz, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhyno. But I think it's cool that you're going to have 4 ECW originals going up against the Wyatt family in a tables match. I think this is going to be I think it's awesome. I think the match will be good and fun. And like I said, I think the Wyatt family needs this win more than the Dudley Boyz and Dreamer and Rhyno. Next, we have a triple threat ladder match for the tag team championships. The New Day defending against the Lucha Dragons and the Usos. This should be a really good match, especially considering the talent in this match. I don't see the Usos winning the titles, and I don't see the Lucha Dragons winning the titles. I got a feeling WWE is going to have New Day hold on to the titles until WrestleMania, and then they may do a major TLC match with Dudley's, New Day, Lucha Dragons, and the Usos, which I'd be totally down for. And then that's when they're going to finally drop the titles. Because I still think New Day is one of the hottest things on the main roster. So I think WWE should keep that momentum going. Keep that momentum going. I just don't see the New Day losing, on Sunday night in this triple threat tag team ladder match. But it should be fun. I mean, with the 7 competitors in this match, of course, New Day has a third member, Xavier Woods. They can always utilize the Freebird rule where Xavier could come in and substitute for Kofi or a Big E, whatever, which I would love to see. I would love to see Xavier actually get involved in the match and actually climb the top of the ladder and retrieve the titles. But yeah, like I said, I see New Day winning this. I don't think WWE is going to take the titles off them now, especially with how hot they are. I know they've been champions since Extreme Rules back in April. I mean, I just don't see it being the Usos' time yet or the Lucha Dragons' time. Though I do want to see the Lucha Dragons win the titles in the future, and I do want to see Kalisto establish himself as a young hot star and as potentially WWE's new hot WWE's big time lucha star, to carry on what Rey Mysterio ultimately contributed to the company when he was wrestling for WWE. So I'm expecting this match to be a lot of fun. I'm expecting this to be a hell of a match. And I'm going to go with the New Day to win. Like I said, I think if they're going to drop the titles, it's going to be at WrestleMania 32 to the Dudleys or the Lucha Dragons in like a major TLC match. So I'm going with New Day. For now, I'm going with the New Day to win and retain the titles, but I just don't see them dropping the titles yet. I see it happening more at WrestleMania 32. Next, we have the Divas Championship match. Charlotte defending against Paige. Now, in this match, I don't know exactly who's supposed to be the face and who's supposed to be the heel, because if you remember, going into Survivor Series, it was clear that Paige was the heel and Charlotte was the face. And Paige further solidified her heel status with her controversial comments about Charlotte's brother Reed and his unfortunate passing in 2013, I believe. But yeah, like after Paige beat Charlotte and after they had the rematch the night after Survivor Series that ended the double countout, Charlotte has a match with Becky Lynch, and Charlotte resorts to Nature Boy-like tactics to beat Becky Lynch. And her father even got involved. You know, Ric Flair got involved in that match. And when I saw that, I was like, so wait a minute, are they turning Charlotte heel now? Like, I thought she was still engulfed in a feud with Paige. And then 3 days later on SmackDown, Charlotte got involved in Becky's match with Brie Bella and got Becky disqualified. So then they did the Miz TV segment on Monday, which I thought was good. And Miz even called Charlotte out and started saying, you know, you were all about Team PCB. You're all about your friends. You're all about your girls. And now lately you've become strong yet arrogant. And of course, Paige came out to confront Charlotte after Charlotte said she would, like, you know, tell Paige off to her face and whatnot. And then Paige slapped Ric Flair in the face and Charlotte went after her. So that pretty much, I mean, I don't know. I guess Charlotte's flip-flopping too, which is unfortunate. As far as the prediction goes for this match, I think Charlotte's going to retain most likely. Now, I think Stevie Breach did a video on this, but somebody else on Twitter talked about the possibility of Paige's mom, Saraya Knight, being in Paige's corner Sunday night at TLC, which I think would be great. That would further add to this Charlotte and Paige feud. And if Saraya Knight actually shows up, things are going to get really interesting, because if you know about Paige's upbringing, especially her mom, how she got into the wrestling business, you know her mom is one of the toughest women on this planet, you know. So I personally hope that Saraya Knight makes it to TLC and that she's in her daughter's corner for her match with Charlotte. I mean, to have Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner and Saraya Knight in Paige's corner would really add something special to the feud. But I am picking Charlotte to retain. I don't see Paige winning. I don't know if this is going to lead to Charlotte versus Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, which I would like to see, because Becky Lynch deserves better booking. She's been a dark horse for quite some time. I've said it, and she's a hell of a women's wrestler. And there's one other thing I want to address real quick before I move on to the double main event, so to speak. This pay-per-view, TLC, which thank God is not called TLC's, Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs. I hated that whole concept last year. This event is taking place at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. And of course, the one diva from Boston, Massachusetts who's on the current main roster is Sasha Banks. And if you remember what happened at Paige versus Charlotte, if you remember what happened during their match at Survivor Series, you know the crowd was dead, the crowd didn't like it, and the crowd was chanting, "We want Sasha." I'm surprised Sasha Banks is not on this card at all, which I interpret as WWE's faith in her, I guess. I mean, I'm just taking that as WWE doesn't have much faith in her, unfortunately. Yes, she's been on Raw lately. She had the match with Brie Bella, I believe. And I was happy, I'm always happy to see Sasha on TV. But I'm starting to lack faith in WWE when it comes to Sasha Banks. And if this Paige Charlotte match does not deliver, that crowd in Boston's going to hijack the show and they're going to chant, "We want Sasha." If this entire show is bad, throughout the night, that crowd will be chanting, "We want Sasha." They'll hijack that show. So I honestly thought we would have got maybe Charlotte versus Sasha Banks or Charlotte versus Paige versus Sasha Banks. But honestly, I hope WWE knows what they're doing, because if that crowd doesn't get Sasha, they're going to hijack the show and they're going to chant for Sasha. So I think WWE backed themselves into a corner with this match. Let's just hope after this match that they give the fans what they want and they give us Sasha Banks and they give Sasha that push she deserves. That's all I'm going to say. But my prediction to win, my prediction for this match is Charlotte to retain the Divas Championship. Now we get to the two big title matches, the double main event, so to speak. First off, Intercontinental Championship match, Kevin Owens defending against Dean Ambrose. When this match was announced, I honestly was going with Kevin Owens because my belief was Kevin Owens would hold on to the title until WrestleMania 32 and then defend it against Sami Zayn. I believed Sami Zayn would return at the Royal Rumble, go after Kevin Owens, and then after weeks of build, the match would finally be announced. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, WrestleMania 32 for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, with Sami Zayn being announced for NXT TakeOver London, with his big return going to take place at Wednesday's NXT TakeOver London special, I don't see it happening. Now, there's rumors about the possibility of Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32, which I think would be freaking awesome just because of their personas and all. But if that happens, is that really going to be for the Intercontinental Championship? Are they going to really put Brock in a mid-card title feud against Kevin Owens? If it happens, it should be, the Beast Incarnate, the Conqueror versus the Family Man, the Prize Fighter, KO. It should just be one-on-one to see which of them is the best. Which is the best of their generation. Not for the Intercontinental Championship. But with that said, I love Dean Ambrose. He should be getting a push for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm expecting him and Kevin Owens to deliver another really good to great match at TLC. But I just don't see Ambrose winning the Intercontinental Championship. The best time for him to have won it would have been WrestleMania 31. But yeah, I just can't see Dean Ambrose as Intercontinental Champion. I think he's better off as like a WWE World Heavyweight Championship contender and then eventual WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I know I've been saying, I don't see this, I don't see that happening throughout this review. I apologize. But I just don't see Dean Ambrose as an Intercontinental Champion. I love Ambrose, don't get me wrong. And I think maybe the thing is, Dean Ambrose deserves better booking. He deserves to be in the main event feuds and everything. And I know that I would love to see Ambrose as champion. What I was going to say is I know that you can't always have, how do I say this? You can't always have Ambrose in the main event like 5-6 pay-per-views in a row because that's going to get stale and whatnot. But in my personal opinion, Ambrose deserves to be in the main event spot. But as far as this match with Kevin Owens goes, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. I think Owens is going to get his win back after losing in the Survivor Series WWE World Heavyweight Championship tournament. They may do a rubber match at Royal Rumble, which I'd be down for, but I just don't see Dean Ambrose winning the Intercontinental Championship. He's better suited as a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But like I said, the match should still be really good to great. Maybe they'll top the Survivor Series match, but I'm looking forward to it. But I still see Kevin Owens winning or retaining the Intercontinental Championship. If Ambrose is going to win it, it'll probably be a Royal Rumble. And then from there, you can set up Owens and Lesnar or Owens and Zayn, whatever they're going to do. But yeah, I just don't see Kevin Owens losing. If he's going to lose it, he'll probably lose at a Royal Rumble. But I see Kevin Owens retaining against Dean Ambrose. And finally, guys, we get to the main event. A TLC match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The champion Sheamus defending against the challenger and former champion Roman Reigns. Now with this match, guys, right off the bat, I'm rooting for Roman Reigns. When Sheamus cashed in at Survivor Series, I wasn't I didn't flip out or anything. I didn't like what's that word? When Sheamus cashed in, it happened. The cash-in finally took place. And I was just like, all right, let's move on. Let's see if Roman gets the title back at TLC. So we've gotten to TLC now. And since losing the title in 5 minutes, 15 seconds, Roman has not only had to battle Sheamus, he now has to battle the League of Nations, which is, of course, Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and King Barrett. And honestly, this whole League of Nations thing, in my opinion, has run its course because on SmackDown, what was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio turned into Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Usos versus the League of Nations. How many times are you going to have the League of Nations and Roman Reigns and his family do battle? I mean, to me already, this feud has run its course. This whole League of Nations thing has run its course. And it's just, it's unfortunate that Del Rio, Rusev, and Barrett, who I think are all good to great talents, are in this faction that was solely built to protect Sheamus, to prevent Roman Reigns from getting to Sheamus and winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is another situation, another instance of WWE backing itself into a corner because nobody cares for Sheamus as WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and you're forced to try and convince the fans to boo Sheamus, so you put him with this stable of international talent that is solely there just to protect him. No one's going to gain anything from this, and until now, I totally forgot to mention that in the Rusev versus Ryback match and the Del Rio versus Swagger match that they're part of the League of Nations. And I don't expect the League of Nations to get involved in the other matches, but I do expect them to get involved in this match. So yeah, it's like nobody has anything to gain in that faction, unfortunately, and that's another instance of WWE not knowing what to do with Del Rio. Well, Del Rio, sort of, but not knowing what to do with Rusev and King Barrett. And I've said for a while now that King Barrett needs to drop the whole King gimmick and go back to being Bad News Barrett, the bare knuckle brawler. I miss the whole Bad News Barrett gimmick. But getting back to the match, I'm personally going to be rooting for Roman Reigns because if WWE thinks they can sell tickets, they can sell out WrestleMania with Sheamus walking in as champion, if they think they're going to do big numbers around WrestleMania season with Sheamus walking in as champion, well, they're pretty stubborn, and I hate to say this, but they're blind because no one cares for Sheamus as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said, when he cashed in, he finally cashed in. So, yeah, that was done and over with. But, I mean, no one cares for Sheamus. And, it's not like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, when he was being pushed toward the World Heavyweight Championship where I was invested in him. Now I just don't care. And Sheamus is a good worker. I'm not saying he's horrible, but I just don't care. So I'm personally rooting for Roman Reigns. But like I said, with what's going on, this whole League of Nations thing, like, you got to believe the League of Nations is going to interfere and help Sheamus retain the championship. I won't be surprised if Triple H gets involved and cost Roman Reigns the championship because they've been teasing for a little while Roman Reigns versus Triple H. And if you guys remember, last year at SummerSlam, it was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Triple H. That summer was the summer where I thought Roman Reigns was going to really establish himself as a main event player. I thought he was going to personally go through all the members of Evolution within a 3-month span. After the Shield disbanded and Roman Reigns was the lone hound of justice, I thought he was going to go through Batista at Money in the Bank, then go through Orton at Battleground, and ultimately go through Triple H at SummerSlam. Didn't happen. Roman still had a good match with Randy Orton, but now we may get Roman Reigns versus Triple H at the Royal Rumble, which I'm for, but knowing WWE, I know what they'll do. If they make this match happen, it's going to be just like Brock Lesnar versus Big Show from almost 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, 2003 to be exact, where Roman and Triple H are going to have a match. If Roman wins, he qualifies for the Royal Rumble match. He may enter number 30 or whatever. It'll just be like Brock Lesnar's rivalry with Big Show and Daniel Bryan's underdog story from SummerSlam 2013 to WrestleMania 30, which is rehashing 2 previous storylines, and we don't want that. if they're going to do Roman Reigns versus Triple H, what I personally think they should do is, how do I say this? If they're going to do Roman Reigns versus Triple H, do it at Fastlane. Have Roman win the championship at Royal Rumble, and then have Triple H come out after he tries to screw Roman for the millionth time and have him go one-on-one at Fastlane. And then Roman goes on to main event WrestleMania as champion against whoever his opponent may be. But yeah, I believe Roman Reigns and Sheamus can deliver a good to real good TLC match. We pretty much got a preview of it Monday night with the brawl they had. But I would love to see them deliver a real good to great TLC match. We'll see what happens. My personal pick is Roman Reigns, but I gotta believe Sheamus is gonna retain due to outside interference from the League of Nations or Triple H. And if Triple H does interfere, then that's gonna ultimately lead to Roman Reigns versus Triple H. And like I said, if that happens at Royal Rumble, do not let it be like if Roman wins, he enters the Royal Rumble match at number 30 or whatever, because that's just like rehashing the Brock Lesnar rivalry with Big Show in 2003 and the Daniel Bryan underdog story from SummerSlam 2013 to WrestleMania 30. So my prediction is Sheamus. My personal prediction is Roman Reigns. I'm going to be rooting for Roman because I want to see him kick off 2016 as champion. If he doesn't win it here, he'll probably win it at Royal Rumble. If Triple H doesn't interfere, it should happen at Royal Rumble because, like I said, if WWE thinks they can do big numbers with Sheamus entering WrestleMania as champion, they're just stubborn, blind, and they just refuse to listen to the fans. You know, they just want to give the fans what they want instead of what the fans should get. You know what I mean? So those are my predictions, guys, for TLC 2015. To recap, my predictions are, Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, the Wyatt family, the New Day, Paige, Kevin Owens, and Sheamus, although I am heavily rooting for Roman Reigns to regain the championship. And I can guarantee you one thing, this match will not go 5 minutes, 15 seconds. If it actually did, wow, that's all I'm going to say. So thank you guys again for watching and listening. This has been my WWE TLC 2015 predictions. I will be doing NXT TakeOver London predictions this weekend as well, so definitely keep your eyes out for that. I will also do a WWE TLC 2015 predictions video, and I may also do a video announcement where I talk about what my video schedule, not my video schedule, but what videos I may have in store for the final few weeks of 2015. So make sure to keep your eyes open for all those videos. I also have a WWE shop package that's going to be coming within the next 7 to 10 business days. Of course, that's going to be an unboxing, unpackaging when that arrives. But like I said, guys, keep your eyes open for when I do a small video announcement. I'll talk about some of the videos I have planned for the rest of the year. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Leave your comments down below with your predictions on TLC 2015. Do you think it's going to be a good show? Do you think it'll be average? Do you think it'll suck? So as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you all in the next video. And I have to say this one more time. Thank God this is not TLC's. Thank God there's no stairs matches this year. Oh, and one more thing. WWE, just remember, we want Sasha.